"This is for you. Take it." Jack laughed and shoved the money into Joan's arms. Fiona's eyes lit up as she witnessed this. She walked over quickly and said, "You little brat. You're only giving your mother money now that you have some. We've been taking care of your kids and suffering so much. How come you're not giving any to us? You should give us some for all the money we've spent on your kids, shouldn't you?" Jenny the maid could not stand it anymore. She mumbled, "You haven't been working for the past few years and don't have any income." Kylie was basically raised by Miss, and their income was earned from Miss going out and about to scavenge for her and Joan's salary through her office job. "You haven't spent a cent. How dare you ask for compensation?" After hearing that, Joan angrily said, "Hey, you stupid girl, what are you talking about? You're just a maid. What does this have anything to do with you?" "Mom, if you want the money, you can have it. However, you'll have to acknowledge this son-in-law. Otherwise, why would he give you the money?" Selina walked over and rolled her eyes at her mother. Fiona's expression changed after hearing that. She said coldly, "It's just a bit of money. It's not like I've never come across such a sum before. You want me to acknowledge him for this bit of money? No way." Jack did not care about his mean mother-in-law. He passed the bag to Selina and said, "Take the money inside and spend it. There should be enough for groceries and to register Kylie for school. There should be enough for some time. How much money is in here?" Selina lifted the heavy bag. She was stunned. Was this weight all from the cash in the bag? Fiona was no longer calm. Before Jack could say anything, she walked over and grabbed the bag to pour out its contents. Seeing the cash on the ground, Fiona inhaled sharply and asked, "This is a lot of money. How much is there?" Jack laughed forcefully and said, "Not much. I withdrew $1 million. I gave my mom $50,000 for change, and there's still $950,000 left." Fiona swallowed her saliva. She nearly cried. $950,000. I haven't seen this much money in so long. This is great. I don't have to live frugally anymore now. "Mom, pick it up. That's a lot of money. If someone else sees it, we'll be in trouble," Selina reminded anxiously. "This is great. Kylie can now study in a better kindergarten. It seems like you're not that useless, after all. This should be the money you received from leaving the army, right? The government is pretty good to you, after all, for giving you $1 million. Together with the money you gave Selina for clothes, it should be about $1.2 million in total," Fiona said. To her, Jack must have withdrawn everything he had to please them. After being deep in thought, she said, "Jack, this $950,000 shall be the compensation for raising Kylie. It's your child, after all, so you should be paying for her. Don't you dare think that I will acknowledge you as our son-in-law for this money. I reiterate my point. If you can't whip out $10 million for dowry on Selina's grandfather's 70th birthday party, you still need to get out. Understood?" "Ha! Don't worry, Mom. I mean what I said. Take this money for Selina's groceries and register Kylie for school," Jack said while laughing. Fiona scoffed. As long as you're aware of it." Before the cash was picked up, a young man unexpectedly walked in with a young girl who had a tattoo on her arm. They both seemed like they were about 19 years old. The young man had blonde hair with an ear piercing. It was an ear stud. "Wow, that's a lot of cash." The young man ran over upon seeing the cash. He picked it up and said excitedly, "God, this is a lot. There's some in the bag as well. There, must be $1 million here, right? I haven't seen this much money in a long time." Who are you? Put it down! Seeing the young man's face angered Jack. He stared straight at the man and spoke, coldly. You. Who are you? The young man looked back at Jack. He was so shocked by Jack's sharp gaze that he dropped the cash he was holding. Jack, what are you getting angry about? Don't you recognize Ben anymore? Fiona glared at Jack. Ben? Jack was stunned for a while, before coming to a realization. Oh, it's Ben. He was only 14 when I left. He's so tall now and all grown up, I couldn't recognize him. Fuck. Here I was thinking, who was this guy being this angry at me? You're the useless brother-in-law, Ben snapped. I thought you were dead. Who knew that? You would make it back. For 5 years, you've put our family through shtat. The young girl came over and stood next to Ben. She checked Jack out and said, Ben, is this the useless live-in son-in-law? The one who became one just to get $1 million for his mother's medical costs, then went to war the next day? Ben's eyes were filled with hostility. Yes, it's this bastard. He agreed to a sham marriage at first, but took advantage of my sister. He got my sister pregnant. If it wasn't for this bastard, our family wouldn't have been kicked out. We would still be living a good life. So it was this bastard. How evil. The woman looked over at Jack in anger. I can't believe you're still shameless enough to come back. If I was you, I'd rather die at war than come back and embarrass myself. Zena, who are you to say that? Selina could not take it anymore. I was drunk that night, but I knew I made the first move. I was angry at Grandpa for treating our marriage like a deal. It was my fault. I was too naive, and I caused Mom, Dad, and my brother to live frugally. I'll try my best to make it up to them from now on. But it has already happened, and I've taken responsibility for it. You can't blame Jack for this. No matter what, this is my family's business. You're nobody to butt in, are you? Ben, look at your sister. She's saying that I'm a nobody. I've yet to marry you, and she's already this mean to me. When I marry you in the future, who knows how she'll treat me then? Zena was pissed. She tugged on Ben's arm and threw a tantrum. On top of that, Jack is the one who put you in this position, but you're still siding with him. I really don't understand how you think. Ben continued to speak on Zena's behalf. No matter what, we have a marriage certificate. We're legally husband and wife, so we're a family. You've said it yourself. Zena has yet to marry you. We'll only be a family in the future, not now. So she should not butt into our family's business right now. Selina was still up in arms about it. It seemed like she was prejudiced toward Zena. I don't care. It's your happiness. Anyway, if you're willing to marry a soldier, a useless man, we can't do anything about it. Aren't you the cause of where you are today? If you didn't do such a stupid thing back, then you would have been the chairman of the Taylor Group by now. The beautiful chairman is no longer who she was. What a shame, Zena said, while crossing her arms in front of her chest. If you don't want to care, shut up, Jack said coldly, after seeing how she was treating Selina. Zena was so angry that she began breathing heavily. Her expression was horrible. You bastard, you got our family into this mess, and not only are you not apologizing, you're pissing my lady off. You're asking to get beaten up, aren't you? Seeing what was happening, Ben, who was usually protective of his girlfriend, walked over and clenched his fists. He threw a punch at Jack. Ben, are you nuts? No matter what, he's still your brother-in-law. He did not do anything wrong back then. We were both drunk. Selina was now pissed, seeing that Ben wanted to start a fight. Meanwhile, Jack bent backward in the face of Ben's fist. He easily avoided the attack. "I don't believe this." Seeing that he did not hit Jack, Ben got up and aimed his fists at him again. Unfortunately, his attack was nothing for Jack. No matter how he tried, Jack looked like he knew where Ben was trying to hit him and avoided it every time. "God damn it! If you're a man, stop avoiding my hits. What kind of hero are you if you're avoiding my punches?" Ben was panting after throwing a few empty punches. He stopped and put one hand on his waist while pointing a finger at Jack with the other. "Seeing that you're Selina's brother, I don't want to hit you. Otherwise, you'd be on the ground by now. Seeing how you are right now, you must not be big on exercising. With a body like yours, you would have been dead 100 times over at war," Jack said, coldly. Ben was pissed, but remembered that the guy standing in front of him had spent 5 years at war. How could he beat that? Ben clapped his hands and said, "I'm not going to waste my time on a boorish fellow like you." Ben turned around to see the cash-filled bag and asked excitedly, "Mom, where did the money come from?" "Yeah, Mom, where did the money come from?" Zena ran over and endearingly called Fiona, "Mom." Fiona was stunned for a moment before, looking excited. "Girl, what did you call me? Didn't you call me Auntie before this?" Zena became shy and said in embarrassment, "Auntie, I'm sorry. I've been wanting to call you Mom for some time, but I was never brave enough to do so. I accidentally did what I've been wanting to do just now." "Hey, that's great, girl. You should call me Mom and not Auntie then. Your dad and I like you, so just call me Mom from now on. You've been in a serious relationship with Ben and are going to get married someday. Anyway, aren't you?" Fiona was so unhappy that the smile on her face was extremely bright. "Mom, you haven't told me. Where did the money come from? Why is there so much money? Could it be that there's a rich master somewhere trying to marry my sister and giving this as dowry?" Ben asked excitedly. "No, it's not dowry." Fiona forced a smile before looking at Jack and said, "It's Jack's money for Kylie. There's $50,000 here. He should be giving this amount." "He gave this?" Ben looked back at Jack with a peculiar gaze. Could he really have withdrawn this much money? Does being a soldier pay this much? "You don't know this, but I've heard that those who leave the army will get compensation. Those who spent a shorter time in the army could get about $100,000 to $200,000. So, since Jack spent 5 years in the army, he should be getting more. If this bastard could get $1 million, I think he must have achieved meritorious service in the army. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to get this much." Fiona smiled and lifted the heavy bag while saying, "This bastard is a bit compassionate after all. He brought some money back for yes as compensation. If he died at war, we could have gotten nothing." Ben nodded. "Since he had the decency to bring money over, that's all right of him. However, Jack, don't you dare think that making me call you my brother-in-law is this easy. The money is for Selina to buy groceries and register Kylie for school. Selina should be keeping this," Jack said coldly while looking at Fiona's grip on the bag of cash. "You don't need this much money for groceries and school, do you? Even if you're looking at a fancy kindergarten, it should cost about $10,000 or $20,000 per semester, shouldn't it?" Fiona said. "How much does the best one cost?" Jack asked Selina. "It must be about $50,000, but that's for a year." Selina forced a smile and said, "Is it really necessary to go to such a good school?" Of course Kylie must go to a better school. Jack nodded and stared at Fiona. Jack's gaze was threatening. Even Fiona did not dare look straight at him. Fine, fine. Here's $100,000 for Kylie's school fees and the living expenses for now. When you're out of money, take some from .me. I'll hold on to the money, otherwise I won't feel secure about it. Fiona counted $100,000 and passed it to Selina. She was adamant on not handing over the other. $4,000. Mom, there's still $850,000 and I'm out of money. Since there's so much, you should give me some, shouldn't you? On top of that, Zena's been dating .me for so long, but I've yet to buy her anything nice, Ben said, shamelessly. Fine, fine. Here's $50,000. Go get a gift or something for Zena. Fiona pulled out another $50,000 with a smile. Thanks, Mom. Zena happily thanked Fiona. Jack ignored them and approached Andrew. Dad, I can cure your leg. Can you really do that? Of course, Andrew wished that his leg could recover. Now that Jack mentioned it, his cloudy eyes lit up. Are you exaggerating? Even the head of the orthopedic hospital took a look at my dad's leg and said there was nothing he could do. How can you cure it? Ben walked over and said, I remember you. Used to be a delivery boy before serving in the army. After being a soldier for 5 years, you now know how to cure someone. Could it be that you joined the medical team to treat the wounded? No wonder he made it out alive after spending 5 years on the battleground. He wasn't a frontliner at all. He was just treating the wounded. Zena crossed her arms in front of her chest and said sarcastically, I thought he was a hero, but he was just backup, haha. Jack ignored the duo and said to Andrew, Dad, don't worry. You're Selina's father, and that makes you my father as well. I'll never harm you. After hearing such earnest words, Andrew was visibly moved by Jack. It seemed like he wanted to give it a try. That might be untrue. You've put us through hell for 5 years. 5 years. Just imagine the number of days and nights. Fiona reminded Jack with a sarcastic tone, if your medical skills aren't up to par and end up completely ruining your dad's leg, it'll really be over for him. Andrew started hesitating. If Jack's skills were not up to standard and made his leg worse, it would be over for him. Dad, I trust him. Let him try it, Selina advised Andrew. Fine, let's try it. Since it's already in this state, it can't get any worse than this. Andrew sat down on a stone-made stool next to him, rolled up his pants, and let Jack inspect his leg. Jack took a look and felt Andrew's leg before pulling out a small box with a long needle inside. Is pricking it with a silver needle sufficient? Wouldn't I require medicine or something? Seeing what was going on, Ben could not help but ask Jack, could this pricking ruin my leg? Andrew was a little worried. Don't worry, this is acupuncture, a type of treatment in Chinese medicine. It's magical. After this, I'll massage your leg and dredge the blood vessels. You'll be cured over a few days. Jack smiled. He was confident. Although the Taylor family was always looking down on him and could not wait to kick him out of the family, Jack understood that he was the one who got Selina pregnant. Their family was chased out of the mansion and forced to stay in such a shabby place. He was responsible for it, and if it was anyone else, they would blame Jack as well. Moreover, they were all Selina's family, so Jack did not want to ruin the relationship with them. After all, Andrew's leg became what it was because of himself. He had been feeling guilty about it Just as Jack was treating Andrew, Fiona got a call. Dorset Hotel? The famous Dorset Hotel in the city center? The five-star hotel where the minimum spend is $100,000? Zena asked, excitedly after hearing about it. Of course it is. Are there any other Dorset hotels around? Fiona's face was filled with pride. She lamented, "The old master has finally come to his senses and actually let us go over for lunch. He has never called us over for anything worth celebrating before this." That's great. It looks like old Master Taylor is gradually accepting you. Guys, Zena smiled excitedly before, saying shyly, "Mum, can I follow you?" Fiona was floating from being called Mum. She nodded. "Of course you can. You're my son's girlfriend and my future daughter-in-law. You can definitely have lunch with us. Don't worry." That's great, Fiona thought of something and said, "Right, it's still early. Ben, bring Zena shopping. She's showing up with you today." "Yes, let's go and shop." Ben grabbed the $50,000 and left with Zena immediately. "Mum, it's not really a good idea to bring Zena along, is it?" After the duo left, Selina was silent for a moment before saying, "They're still dating and have yet to get married. She's not a part of our family yet." "What's so bad about it? They've been together for 2 or 3 years already, so isn't it going to happen soon?" Fiona continued, "Did you not see how happy Zena was when she heard she could go to a 5-star hotel? She's even shopping for it. She's got decent looks anyway, which would make us look better today. On top of that, won't she join the family sooner if we start treating her like one?" "Fine." Selina knew that it was pointless to debate. Her mother was not going to listen. Moreover, her mother did promise Zena that she could come today, and based on her personality, Fiona would not change her mind. Done. After performing the acupuncture, Jack began massaging Andrew's leg. A faint, warm feeling flowed from Jack's palm to Andrew's leg and into his bones. "It doesn't hurt at all. I had lost all feeling in this part of my leg, and the doctor did say that it would only get worse and I would be disabled. Who knew that I would feel something? Now." Andrew felt something, and his face was filled with excitement. "Really? You're able to feel something this soon?" Fiona crossed her arms in front of her chest and said in disbelief, "Is it just an illusion?" "How could that be possible? He's just messing around and did not prescribe you anything. How could you be getting better?" "This isn't an illusion, is it? It's quite obvious." Andrew frowned. It was evident that he felt a bit unsure. "Dad, don't worry. You'll feel more tomorrow and be cured in about a week." Jack smiled and said so with confidence as he stood up. "Young man, these are your words. If he doesn't recover by then, you'll have to get lost," Fiona said as she grabbed Jack by his collar. She was a little excited as well. "Mom, you'll find out whether it works in 2 days," Jack replied with a smile. "Okay, we shall see." After saying so, Fiona looked over at the cash-filled bag and took it back into the house to hide it. As it approached noon, Ben returned with Zena and a few sets of clothes in tow. Zena seemed more beautiful than ever. Kylie was dressed in the clothes Jack got her yesterday. She seemed classier than before. After drying the clothes, she put in the laundry yesterday, Selina, put on a dress, and her gorgeous appearance immediately outshined Zena. "Sister, you're beautiful, and definitely worthy of the title as Eastfield's most beautiful woman. Your child is already a few years old, and your body still looks amazing. I couldn't tell that you're married." Zena walked over and immediately started praising Selina. "I'm no match for you young girls, you're more energetic," Selina said, nonchalantly. She did not care much for Zena. Let's go. We can't be late, and let the old master wait for us. Otherwise, they'll be unhappy." Fiona took a look at the time, and they were running late. The group left and called for a cab. Soon after that, they arrived at the entrance of a huge hotel. The hotel was grand. Under the sunlight, it seemed extra shiny and classy. "The people who eat here are rich and famous, and we, as the Taylor family, rarely come here." Andrew stood on the piazza outside the hotel and lamented. "It seems like the old master is not that angry at us anymore, so let's hope we get to return to the Taylor family." Sigh. "We can. Dad, let's go in?" Zena went over to hold Andrew and called him Dad, endearingly. However, Jack realized, Selina's frown while watching this unfold. Meanwhile, in Michael's mansion, Ivan ran over to him and excitedly asked, "Master, Wilson, how was it? Were you relaxed last night?" "Relaxed? Ha, of course I was." Michael sneered and replied sarcastically. He was still pissed at what happened last night. Not only did he not get any girl, on top of having his restaurant trashed last night, the image of a gentleman he had been keeping up in front of Selina was ruined. He would probably never get a chance with her again. Ivan did not realize how angry Michael was at the moment. He continued saying, with a smile, "Relaxed is great. Relaxed is great. This cousin of mine has an amazing body, so you must have taken a few photos of her, right? Just threaten her with them in the future, and she'll definitely come over. I've thought it out for you. Give her some money every time, and she'll gradually give in to you, one day, and end up marrying you. Look, this is the contract. Let's sign it. I got someone to draw up the new contract overnight according to our deal. Yesterday." Hey, what's wrong? Master Wilson, why did you tear it? Didn't we agree to signing the contract today? Ivan was dumbfounded at the scene. His head was ringing, and the Taylor family was waiting for him to go home and celebrate. Could this whole thing be ruined? "Sign your ass!" Master Wilson sat on the sofa and said angrily, "Last night, I did not even drink my coffee or do anything I wanted to. Not only was my reputation ruined, my restaurant was trashed, and I did not dare to even say a word throughout the ordeal." "How could that be? What's going on? I knew it. Is it Jack? This bastard had the courage to trash your restaurant? Wait, that's not right. Where were your men? Don't you have a ton of them? Were they no match for Jack?" Ivan inhaled sharply. He thought that Michael was successful with Selina last night and did not expect that opposite to be the case. He did not understand how this happened even after Selina's consent. Michael became pissed upon thinking about what happened last night. Jack didn't do it. He wouldn't have the guts to. How could he even possess that ability? It was the second daughter of the Drake family, that bitch Tanya Drake. No way, Tanya Drake. Why was she there? Once again, Ivan was shocked after hearing that it was Tanya. It was the Drake family after all. There were plenty of families trying to please them. Here's what happened. This Tanya Drake coincidentally walked past our restaurant and saw that the interior design was decent. Because of that, she decided to go in for a meal. But, defeatedly, Michael continued, this Tanya Drake is so lifeless that she likes going around causing trouble. She's so annoying. Ivan finally understood what had happened last night. He stayed silent for a moment before saying, "Master Wilson, look, it was an accident. None of us expected Tanya Drake to show up, did we?" He paused and pulled another contract out of his briefcase. "Therefore, I can't be blamed for that. Thankfully, I've made a copy of the contract. Master Wilson, let this go and sign it, shall we? Okay? Please remember, all the years we've been friends. Sign my ass." Master Wilson did not hold back from shaming Ivan. He turned his face away and said, "You're the one who gave me the shitty idea to get Selina, and now I've yet to get her. I've also suffered quite a loss in my restaurant as well. Did you really think I'm still going to sign the contract with you? Based on the fact that I haven't asked you for compensation, I'm already being compassionate enough about this. I used to have a good rapport with Selina, but now I can never get near her again." "But Master Wilson, my grandpa and the others thought that I'd be signing the contract. They're waiting for me to go home and celebrate." Ivan's face turned sour and pleaded, "I can't be blamed for this. If it wasn't for the Drake family's second daughter, wouldn't you have succeeded? Escort the guest out of here." Meanwhile, it was lively at the Dorset Hotel's private room. Old Master Taylor was all smiles. The private room was huge. It was big, enough to fit 3 large tables. Everyone was happy. "Let's just wait till Selina's family and Ivan arrive, then we shall begin." Yes, even the champagne is out. The old master has gone all out this time, paying $1 million for each table. How lavish. Ivan's making his father proud this time. The profit from this project alone is $300 million. It seems like this project is massive. The Taylor family were talking about Ivan, while Theodore seemed satisfied. At this very moment, the private room's door opened. Fiona and Andrew walked in with Selina and the rest. "Fiona, aren't you a big shot, making us all wait for you?" Just as they entered the room, a relative sneered and said that loudly. Fiona smiled in embarrassment and said, "I couldn't help it. It was a little jammed on the way here." Cecilia took a look at the Gucci. Selina was dressed in and said, "Tsk, Selina, you're shameless, aren't you? You actually had the guts to wear this counterfeit item out of the house. If it was me, I wouldn't even dare to wear it. How embarrassing. If someone catches that it's counterfeit, wouldn't that be horrible?" Fiona could not stand what she was hearing. She walked over and said, "Cecilia, don't you dare. This is real. Even though our family is a little poor, this is the real deal." "Really? You're just a little poor, and yet you're still capable of buying something that costs $100,000 to $200,000? Why do I find that hard to believe? This isn't anything ordinary." Cecilia continued arguing. "If you could afford that, then we should be able to buy clothes that cost about 1 or 2 million, shouldn't we?" "Don't you dare say we can't afford it," Fiona replied. "At the very least, Jack is a veteran who served the country for 5 years, so of course he came back with some money. Maybe you don't know this, but those who serve for 1 or 2 years will get $100,000 or $200,000 in compensation. Since Jack was gone for 5 years and achieved meritorious service, it's no problem for the government to compensate him with about $1 million. Jack was embarrassed. Thankfully, he did not withdraw more money today, otherwise his mother-in-law would be putting him on a pedestal as high as the sky. If she knew that his card could get him $100 billion through a password-free transaction, she might be shocked to death. He achieved meritorious service? Cecilia scrunched her brow together and started to believe Fiona. After all, she did hear that the DOT veterans who returned in the past 2 days came home with money. Some of them who achieved meritorious service, even minor ones, were awarded with $1 million, or so. It was possible. Of course, Fiona replied right away, but was a little hesitant about it. After all, Jack did not admit to it. However, for the sake of her reputation, she admitted it on Jack's behalf. Really? Jack, what meritorious service did you achieve? Old Master. Taylor seemed interested in the conversation. He squinted and looked at Jack. Everyone shifted their attention to Jack at this moment. They wanted to know what meritorious service he had achieved. I've achieved too many to remember. If I were to keep track of them, there must be at least 1,000 or 2,000 awards, Jack replied, after briefly thinking about it. Old Master Taylor's expression darkened as well. He said, Jack, do you think I'm joking with you? Jack, aren't you a little too childish for doing for this? How dare you not answer truthfully to a question from the Old Master? That's right. Where is your respect for the Old Master? Do you not remember that if it wasn't for the Old Master lending you $1 million back then, your mother would be dead by now? A few of the members from the Taylor family began speaking to Jack angrily. Old Master, I'm telling the truth. Sigh, if you don't believe me, then forget it. Jack shrugged. He did not want to elaborate any further. If it was not for worrying that Selina might be bullied today, he would not have even came here. Wait, who's this girl? Cecilia initially wanted to cause trouble for Selina, but did not expect Jack to have achieved meritorious service. Her clothes might be real, so Cecilia had no choice but to give up. Soon after that, she realized that a stranger's face was in the room. Oh, Cecilia, let me introduce her to everyone. This is my girlfriend, Zena Jackson. We've been dating for quite some time and are getting married soon. Since Grandpa invited everyone over here, I thought that I should bring her here and introduce her to everyone. Ben smiled shyly and seemed servile. Ben, that's not nice of you, is it? This is a lunch for the Taylor family, and you got an outsider over here. At least Jack has a marriage certificate, the person you've brought here. Cecilia said sarcastically, while feeling excited internally. Zena is not an outsider. She's already calling me Mum, so she'll definitely marry my Ben soon. Fiona butted into the conversation upon seeing that Cecilia was bullying Zena. Stop it. Some people haven't been to a place like this, so isn't it normal to want to experience it? Another woman sneered on the side. Yes, it's nothing for us, but for some people, it's an achievement to bring his girlfriend here, Cecilia said as she looked over at Ben. Ben's expression darkened, but he did not know how to defend himself. He glared at Jack, who was standing next to him. It was this bastard's fault. If it was not for him getting his sister pregnant, would he be shamed this way today? If it was not for Jack, his family would be living lavishly today. Who knows, his sister might have been the family heir. At that point, who would have the guts to shame him this way? Zena, you have to think this through. Although Ben is a Taylor, you should know where he stands since he stays in a place like that. You're pretty, so it would be a waste to marry him. You might be poor for the rest of your life. After giving it some thought, Cecilia went over to stir trouble again. Zena smiled shyly and replied, Sister, you're too nice. Ben is nice to me and I like him for who he is. I haven't been thinking about anything else, so as long as I'm happy, I'm good. Cecilia, are you too free? What does our business have anything to do with you? You're just jealous because you don't have a boyfriend, right? Ben could not stand it any more. He finally rebutted Cecilia. What are you talking about? I have nothing to be jealous of. It's not that I don't have a boyfriend. It's just that I haven't found one who meets my standards. If I wanted to have one, I'd definitely find a man who's rich, powerful, and capable of protecting me. As for someone like you, tisk, anyone who's not an idiot wouldn't want you, Cecilia said, sarcastically, as she crossed her arms in front of her chest.